In the sprawl of Night City, justice is a product. The corps write the laws, the gangs break them, and someone poor always pays the price. These are the stories of those crazy enough to fight back in court.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another night of very special Thunderleaf Games plays tonight. We've got episode 20 for you, and I'll kick it over to Donnie.
Well, I look a little different tonight, but you will all soon see why. We all are dressed for our parts, and tonight I am no longer your favorite medtech scrawl. So you'll find out a little bit more shortly in this special episode where we're going to court finally. So as always, we're going to start with some introductions, some round table questions for everybody, and as always, we do want to take a moment and thank some people that helped make our stream happen. So we'll start with Sirenscape, bringing our soundboard to life. We want to thank Kevin MacLeod and Incomtech.com for our intro and outro music. Foundry Virtual Tabletop, where it brings our games to lives. And of course, we always want to thank our Talsorian games for the great system that's Cyberpunk Red that we're going to stretch to its limits tonight. So tonight we're going to throw it around. We'll go ahead and I think it does make sense to at least introduce who will be playing tonight. But we're going to also answer the question for our regular characters. Have you ever been in trouble with the law before? So why don't we start right below me here with Greg in his fancy white shirt.
Hi, I'm Greg, and tonight I'm going to be playing Smitty Dimwitten, Esquire. I'm going to be representing Hopscotch, but as far as Static is concerned, and his encounters with the law enforcement, he's familiar with the drunk tank, and that's all I'm comfortable saying on the matter, Yana.
Excellent. And well, let's jump over to his client, Amy.
Hello, I am playing my glorious self, Hopscotch, this evening. And she has not been in trouble. Most authorities really don't care about what's happening out in the wastelands, and we kind of just do our own thing. But also not dumb enough to get caught. So kind of both fronts there. She's not had to worry about it until now, hanging out with you crazy people.
And let's jump down to Ray. Who will you be tonight?
Everybody, I am going to be playing our prosecuting attorney, Evelyn Hasselbeck of Boulder and Hasselbeck. And she's going to make sure Hopscotch goes down for what she did. And
very nice.
As for Cav, she is the law. Of course, she hasn't been in trouble with the law.
Yeah, it's always a fine line. Just hasn't been caught.
We'll find out tonight, won't we?
Yeah, right?
It's the tip of the iceberg here. And so, as always, I'm Donnie. I'm going to be playing Ming Lee tonight, the poor, victimized, noodle-burned victim of Hopscotch from several episodes back when Hopscotch took us on a little bit. Took me on, abused me, stole my belt, and tonight we're going to get some justice for poor Ming Lee. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are picking up, but I think Amy's going to give us just a quick recap of what happened last week, which was a lot of fun, or 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
It was wild. And also, I didn't forget, Mike, have you ever been in trouble with the law? You've been up to.
No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
No. Yeah, nice and boring. No trouble.
Oh, come on, spill the dirt.
Principal's office, detention.
Hacker.
What?
No.
Ray knows differently.
Yeah,
Ray was
haven't
with you for a
gotten
lot.
caught yet. Ray was, yeah.
All right, we'll believe you for now.
now.
Yeah, the last episode was absolutely wild, and so much happened. So we started out, we were still at the Tiger Claw Den behind the Kibble restaurant, and really cleared out everybody except for the main leader, Saber, and got in a bit of a kerfuffle with him trying to get the codes to the safe and take him down, essentially. Succeeded, kind of. Got a code that may have been effective or not, but then something explodes out of the safe, getting Cav and our lovely medtech here literally frozen in place. And then we also, oh, that's right. And then poor Static got his leg kind of blown off in that fight. So meanwhile, Hopscotch was kind enough to bandage that up and get a splint and all of that while the two were enjoying their time in the frozen goo. Scrawl did manage to get a good bit of money out of that safe and a few fancy weapons. So yay, success! Minus the leg thing. So we do get out of there after deciding that we're just going to burn that mother down. Literally set fire to that den after destroying a bunch of like tech equipment. And Cav did called it in, so people probably didn't die. Didn't stay to find out, but they probably didn't. It was fine. We split ways a little bit after getting back to the warehouse. Hopscotch deposited Static for surgery and then went off to the dentist's office to go ahead and let him know that we took care of his problem and to kind of set up an exchange for our services, which includes just a lot of medical supplies for Scrawl, mainly to keep us alive. And also Hopscotch got pretty great out of the exchange. That worked. And then back at the warehouse, poor Static laid up. Donnie miserably fails, like critically fails the roll for surgery, meaning that Static does not get to keep his actual leg. And it's either being, one leg, unable to walk normally for the rest of his life, or go ahead and use the cyber leg that Scrawl desperately wanted to put on him regardless anyway. So went ahead, replaced the leg without Static's consent, and then when Static woke up was absolutely just so upset and miserable and angry and all of the feelings, and just immediately effed off and left for days on end. We were pretty okay with it. Just, like, whatever. He's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. At some point, Scrawl did go out to look for him a little bit and also used that opportunity to try to steal a car, which also failed. Really great day for Donnie last episode.
I kind of nailed it.
Yeah. I feel like your highest roll was like a 9. Like, it was just really bad.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah,
it was
that's right.
Real bad. I myself and Static kind of got back at the same time to the warehouse, and it was obvious that he was still really upset and just disappeared to the pillow fort, and Cav punched him in the face for being an idiot and walking off and not caring about all the things that we've done for him and saving his life. But if there is an upside, Scrawl and Static rekindled their love a little bit. Scrawl had a very heartfelt apology for the leg incident, and they've kind of mended a little bit. So we left off with everybody just feeling sad in their separate corners of the warehouse. It was a lot. Very emotional for our characters. So if you didn't actually watch that episode, I recommend it because it was a fun one.
It was a good one. I think mechanically speaking, Static has like one humanity left. He is just this side of Cyber Psycho at this point.
Yeah, he was a real dick in the latter half of the episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was asshole. Static was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was why. Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent recap, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, very well done.
I just read your notes as best I could. I have in my really crappy contact lenses and I can't see. So I did my best.
Awesome.
But you look good, and isn't that the point?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally is.
Unlike some of us who are
Hopscotch
just
doesn't wear glasses.
a terror on this earth, but that's fine.
You look like a tiger claw.
Exactly.
Actually, yeah, you kind of do.
Nailed it.
Perfect. Well, I think on that note, we'll turn it over to Mike to give us a little bit of what the heck are we doing tonight?
All right, yeah. So a little bit different here, since we're doing our court appearance here. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna have each side kind of go before the judge here and do a little bit of, lay out the plan, kind of things like that. We can see how well the prep goes. We'll do some blind rolls and see how well the evidence, supports what you're saying. And then we'll have the other side come in, do their little spiel, kind of see how their prep goes, and then we'll throw it to the actual trial itself and see what happens and see what can come back and bite you guys as you're presenting your sides here.
All
It'll be
right,
fine.
sounds like a plan.
And
I'm not at all nervous.
We'll start in with the Tiger Claw side, and we'll see if we can get the other two to mute yourselves, or mute and kind of deafen, so you kind of are surprised by what pops up later.
Let me go ahead.
It's actually a good question. How do we deafen ourselves on here?
Take your headphones off.
There's that too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wave at me when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we can drag you guys in while we go talk about that.
I'm sure you're all saying horrible things about me.
He's the worst. Isn't
What? All right. So are you guys over on the court screen?
Yes, sir.
There are.
All right. So, what are we prepping here for this trial? I know we've got some evidence we've got going on. We've got a couple witnesses we want to call.
Mm-hmm. So obviously we've got the plaintiff that we would like to take the stand. Hopscotch herself, who we will be revealing her real name, will be called to the stand. Also,
Amazing.
a bar patron from our first Bozo fight at Salt and Batteries. It seems to be a random junkie, but it's not so random. A friend from Hopscotch's past, a new friend from Hopscotch. Some video evidence, some text-based evidence. I think just the testimonies of those people.
All right. So if you go into the little actor tab with the people, you should see a staff folder for you. And there should be a netrunner in there.
Yep.
All right. Can you go ahead and go on the roll tab and give me an interface roll, please? Let's see how well you're... So first off, before we do that, at the bottom where it probably says public roll in Foundry, I want to change that to blind GM roll.
All right, blind GM roll.
Yep. So then that
Okay.
way I should be able to see what you roll, and it should be a surprise to you
And-
for how well your evidence holds up.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that a lot. All right, I'm looking for interfaced.
Should be under roll on the bottom left.
Got it. All right, one interface.
Yep.
I don't know if it's doing it. Is it doing it?
It did not. So you can just throw a D10 if that's easier.
We'll do that. Still don't know if it did. I heard it though.
That did. All right.
Okay.
So there is the evidence. Okay. So then we wanted to talk a little bit about some of these witnesses. So one of which is going to take a little bit more coaching than the others, right? So I think we were going to talk to the junkie and have them kind of corroborate some character bits that you're going to bring up. So let's do a... What do you think that is? Is that a persuasion to prep them? Is it a conversation?
I think it would probably be persuasion, yeah?
That works for me. Let's see that persuasion roll. That's from your character sheet.
All right.
All right. So find my notes. All right. Very cool. All right. Awesome. So then that's the order we're going to call.
The order?
Got those.
I think start with Hopscotch, actually. I would like to start with Hopscotch.
Okay.
Then the defendant.
Okay.
Then the junkie, the bar patron, Shadow,
Okay.
and Dr. Kurata.
All right. And we've got our video evidence. We've got our other bit of evidence from the text there. All right. And then can I have a bureaucracy roll just for the general state of your prep? There was all over the
Did it do it?
table. It did.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. Do you have any questions, Ming, for how
I just don't know if I can hold up through this trial. The pain in my head, you see, and the trauma. It's been so much, Your Honor.
Understandable. We will see what kind of justice Night City can bring you.
Is this this isn't a jury trial. This is just a bench trial, right? This is just in front of the judge? Okay.
Yep. Yep. All right.
And we're dropping the 15K.
Yes. Can I have a let's do another bureaucracy to submit your motion. You want to explain your All right.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, that sounds good. So if you don't have anything else, oh, do you want to? You had mentioned maybe calling a witness from the camp. Was that something you wanted to pursue?
No, I don't think it would end up well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. If there's nothing else, Miss Lee, if there's anything, if you would like a drink or anything while you're waiting, we can definitely have something brought in for you.
Oh, you're too kind, Your Honor.
All right. Can you give me a? You want to do in acting or a conversation, persuasion, something like that to kind of give a read of what the
Yeah, we'll go
the judge would see of your.
persuasion.
Oh, okay. All right. And with that, I think if you two could mute yourselves, and I will give a quick rundown of how your rolls went, and then we will bring in the other guys.
Okay.
Okay, so one sec, Greg. We're gonna give a quick recap, and then we'll bring you guys in.
So go away again.
Yeah. So if you go away for a sec,
Go away. Yeah.
I'm just gonna give a rundown.
Okay.
All right. So, going through here, their prep was awesome. That was a great role there, but she's a professional attorney. Not really shocking. Prep on the witnesses was awesome. The video prep, so we will see how that goes. But yeah, the motion was a crit success, so that's going to be exciting. So let's jump over to our defense side. All right. Let's get Smitty and Hopscotch in here. All right, are we good?
Yeah.
All right. So the judge will be kind of sitting in the back in her robes behind her desk, and so what kind of evidence, witnesses? What is your defense here? I'm not familiar with your styles, Mr. Dimwitton. So I just wanted to make sure that your prep was up to par for your client.
I appreciate that, Judge. Smitty Dimwitton Esquire, and he's going to shake your hand. I mean,
Pleasure.
it's pretty clear that my client here, Mrs. Dinovich, she was merely assisting the MaxTech officer in defending herself. It's clear cut from the tapes that it looks like these tiger claw thugs came rushing in there, attacking that poor MaxTech officer, and my client here, simply being the good Samaritan they are, leapt up to the officer's defense, and she did have to use, the defendant's, the plaintiff did use the plaintiff's belt to restrain her, and I suppose it's possible that did end up in her possession, but it was in the assist of defending the life of a law enforcement officer.
Okay. So on your character sheet, can I have a bureaucracy roll just for your general prep?
I should have made that private, but yes.
All right. And then, yeah, if you can make that a blind roll.
There you
go. Okay. Cool. Great. Can I have a persuasion roll?
That's going to be another blind one.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. So, what kind of witnesses, what evidence, what do we have up on par here?
As far,
And if you,
what was that?
yeah, no, go ahead.
As far as witnesses, I would like to call obviously the officer, not cavalry, the MaxTech officer whose life my client so valiantly defended, and then I'd also like to call the oh God, what do you call it? The lady who works behind the counter at the restaurant. I'd like to ask her on the stand. I think there was a pretty boy there too, but I don't know if you can track him down. But yeah, I at least put the lady behind the counter and the cop who my client helped save. And what about you? Did anybody you wanted to call? He'll look over at Hopscotch.
I mean, you're the expert. Summed it up pretty good. The pretty boy's name is Chad, if you're wondering. He's a little defective at the moment, but yeah, give it a go.
Defective is in maybe like you don't want me to call on him as a witness? Like he might not help your case?
I don't think he can help anything's case at the moment, if I'm being honest.
Okay, then we won't call him. If he's not gonna help us, there's no reason to call him.
But if the higher powers really want to do both, I will definitely ask for Chad.
I mean, if the judge calls for it, obviously we'll get this Chad fella in here. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it is your case, sir. I don't want to impede your defense, and however you best think you will serve your client.
Let's see if we can't get him on cue, and if we need to call him, we will.
All right. Did you have any evidence you had planned to present or acquired?
The security cameras from inside the noodle shop restaurant. It was a noodle shop, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, there were noodles.
Yeah, the security footage from inside the noodle shop. If we can have that as evidence, because that clearly shows the plaintiff, who should be the defendant in this case, attacking an officer of the law, nonetheless. An officer of the law.
She will provide you a kind of video card with the NCPD logo on it, and slide a. This is the footage that the NCPD had recovered from the noodle shop. If you would like to review that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it, and he'll pull out his little wreath and.
Yeah, and as you kind of take a look at this footage, it shows Cav in her uniform kind of stopping two tiger claws in the street and kind of roughing them up and doing a search. Cav starts to handcuff the one of the tiger claws as Hopscotch just starts to savagely beat into the other woman and proceeds to steal her belt buckle and mock her viciously as she does it. And Cav goes to stop the beating, as then Hopscotch draws Cav's weapon from her holster and shoots the male prisoner, and they both run off.
He's going to take the rig off. He's going to look over at Hopscotch. Oh, yeah, I just want to be clear on the charges here. We're just looking at theft for the belt?
That is what this civil case is about.
Civil case. What's the other one? The civil, and then not domestic.
Criminal.
Does that mean there's a criminal case?
At this time, I am not aware of any criminal charges that have been brought.
Oh, my God.
You look confused.
He's going to lean over to Hopscotch.
Can it is really great to meet you, Smitty, by the by. Just a fun question I ask every lawyer I meet. How many times did you take the bar exam?
My last time was number 17. Lucky 17, my mom says.
I just text my sister, go yourself.
Just get a message back. Don't you love him?
No. You look a little disconcerted for some reason. What's going on? What are you doing?
He's gonna lean over to you, Hopscotch, and give the judge. I recommend you just pay the 1,000 eddies and let this be done, because I mean, what's on this tape is it's murder.
Okay, well that's crazy. Definitely not a thing that happened. Let me see that. Let me see that.
Yeah, he'll give you the rig and the the chip.
All right, so I will return it once I have viewed it. This is clearly fake altered footage. I would be happy to give you an explanation of what occurred. Perhaps, do Max Tech officers wear body cams? Like, are there other sources we could pull from? This is clearly fake footage. This never occurred.
Fake footage. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, they entered the restaurant and just started wildly shooting and attacking, specifically cavalry. Officer Bailey Young.
Bailey Young. Okay, that's who that name was. Okay, I knew I'd seen that name in the papers.
This is gonna be a great day.
All right. Well, if there's, is there any other prep you need? Is there?
You and I had talked about something a little earlier, Mike. What would you like me to roll for that? I could do bureaucracy, concentration.
I think I can argue either one of those.
Okay.
Bureaucracy or the concentration.
I'll do bureaucracy. See if he was able to kind of think through the process on that. That come through?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's a last minute kind of idea popping into your head. You might little sparks of the idea.
Okay, I think seeing that NCPD logo on the disc kind of click. Oh, I could. Hey, but Bailey Young, I need to talk to her. I think maybe talking to her I could crack this.
Okay, we will see if she can take the stand.
Also, maybe did you vet that waitress? Have you spoken to her?
I haven't had a chance to speak with
Cool.
her yet. I mean, this is I just got down here. I passed it by yesterday. This is my first case.
From the moon? What have you been doing?
Wait, you've been to the moon?
Text my sister again. You owe me 1,000 eddies.
Awesome. All right. So let's have you guys just mute for a sec, and then I'll give you the thumbs up, and we can come on back and start the trial.
Okay. So this is Hopscotch and Smitty right now?
Yep. So if you guys could just mute for a sec.
Oh, mute. I thought you said meat. Yes, I will get that.
All right. So looking at their roles, not the greatest prep, but not really surprising from what we've seen of Smitty so far. But he did make an amazing first impression on the judge here. So that's going to hopefully get some points in their favor. But let's see what happens as we go to court. And if we can just get everybody to come on back.
Are we back?
We are back.
Hello.
I was trying so hard to
enemies.
read lips.
I can't. I tried.
I just
Although it was
listened in
so
on YouTube,
disconcerting seeing you laugh, Ray, and I was like, I'm in trouble.
Same, actually.
No, my situation was more of like a laugh at, kind of, not a laugh with situation. Great.
We'll see in about an hour.
Yeah.
All right. And as
This
we
is so
all
weird because, like, I want Hopscotch to pay, but also I don't want Hopscotch to pay. I don't
There's no
want to
conflict of interest at all.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So as we come into the courtroom here. We've got our two sides here. It's just a bench trial, right? There's no jury. Pretty empty courtroom. It's just a civil case for 1,000 eddies, so it's not a big trial. Not a ton of people. A lot of the witnesses and things like that have been they're out in the hall, kind of waiting to come into the room. As the judge looks over towards Ms. Hasselbeck and says, if you would like to start the proceedings, we will begin.
Absolutely, Your Honor. First and foremost, we would like to bring to the attention that this is now a 15,000 eddy trial. This was put into motion several weeks ago.
As she kind of looks through her records. Yes, I do see that a motion was filed here. Looks to be in order. We will definitely take this into advisement if the damages are thus shown to be sufficient.
I assure you they are, Your Honor.
Excellent. The floor is yours.
Oh, my head.
I would like to call, please, Your Honor, our first witness, Tilda Brenadinovich.
Tildy.
My apologies, Miss Tildy.
I will hop right on up or wherever I'm supposed to go.
Yeah, we can bring you up into the kind of witness box, if you will.
How are you doing this morning, Miss Dinovich?
Just fantastic.
You are aware
Let's get to it.
why you're here, yes?
I am aware. Thank you.
Why don't you describe to us your events of that fateful evening that you left my client disfigured?
Well.
Greg should be here, too.
Oh, yeah, Greg should be here.
I'm glad I looked up.
Your lawyer's just out of the room.
Distracted there. Did I miss something?
Oh my god, you missed so much. It's now 15,000 eddies, bro.
On what grounds was the charge raised so steeply and so quickly?
This was paperwork was filed several weeks ago. Just because your office isn't aware of the changes, Mr. Dimwitten, doesn't mean my client hasn't suffered.
I was. It falls on your office's responsibility to inform my office the changes that affect my client, though.
Yes, again, that was filed several weeks ago, Mr. Dimwitten.
He's gonna start shuffling through his paper.
Yeah, roll. Give me. Yeah, you can put it back to the public rolls if you'd like now, and give me a bureaucracy.
All right, give me 1 sec. Let me get that. It's gonna be a 14 on a 3.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So you do find some last-minute paperwork that has been filed, requesting damages in the $15,000 range due to humiliation and physical damage. And you can see a photo of Miss Lee here with the badly burned from noodles.
Okay, and it was it appears to have been properly filed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no grounds to get that thrown out. That was filed very well.
I apologize, Miss Dinovich. This one's on me. Consider this a pro bono job. I will.
Too late to go back.
If we lose, I'll cover the difference. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, as Hopscotch was called to the stand.
Yeah.
You mean Tilde Denovich? Amazing.
Yes.
Miss
Miss
Dinovich,
Dinovich was called
again,
to the stand.
if you would please recall your side of the events that left my client disfigured.
Oh.
Okay. Well, we were minding our own business, enjoying some noodles. Nothing wrong with that. And out of nowhere, two individuals approach, guns blazing, with the direct intent on harming one officer, Bailey Young. And there was, in fact, fighting that occurred on our behalf in defense from the attackers that, again, just blatantly rolled in. And we managed to disarm this individual for safety. And the officer appropriately arrested them. And I think that the woe is me that is occurring at this time is perhaps a little over dramatic and not necessary based on the events that occurred.
Over dramatic. Do you see my client?
It's pretty rough.
This is it's pretty rough.
I mean, Hopscotch has been shot like 11 times since then. I don't look much better.
Can I have a persuasion roll, Hopscotch?
Don't look much better. Anybody can put on a cheap bandage and poor makeup.
This is
Ouch.
permanent disfigurement, Your Honor.
Yes,
What
Miss
did
Dinovich,
you
please
say it was?
refrain from persuasion, please.
Persuasion.
Please refrain from attacking the plaintiff.
Oh, God.
I'm making a note of this.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Dinovich, what happened to, you said, the other assailant that walked in? There were two, along with Miss Lee?
There were two.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one.
And then there was one. You aren't aware what happened with her friend that she walked in the noodle shop with? You were there. Surely you must remember.
There, but surely there was a lot happening, and my focus can only be on one individual at a time.
I see.
In this case, it was on your client. Matters occurring with the other individual were not directly related to myself.
Your Honor, I'd like it to be brought to your attention that Miss Lee's friend and accomplice that day, while she was just walking into the noodle shop to grab a bite, he is dead. He was murdered, in fact, by Miss Dinovich and her friend, Officer Bailey Young.
Oh.
We'll be suing them too next.
Your Honor, excuse me, I'd like to object to that.
Yes, on what grounds?
That speculation about an officer that's not related to this case.
Your Honor, it's not speculation. If you would, I would like to show the court Exhibit A.
Sure. And you can display that. That's the video of the incident in question.
Correct.
Which shows an NCPD officer in uniform illegally searching two people, one of which is our plaintiff here. As the officer begins to arrest one of the members here, Hopscotch starts to savagely beat the other and steal her belt buckle and viciously appears to be mocking or yelling in her face as she's on the ground being struck. The officer goes to stop Hopscotch, who then draws the officer's sidearm and shoots the restrained prisoner as they both run off.
It's deplorable behavior. Unacceptable. Human to human. Mistinovich, you murdered that man in cold blood and brutally assaulted my client, and then stole our belt buckle.
Thank you for that fun little made-up movie that you showed everyone. What a great time. That is false footage.
False footage.
It is, first and foremost, everyone that has ever encountered me knows that I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a firearm. There's no way that I would have been able to shoot that individual, just to be clear. And no, there was no accosting in the street. There was no illegal search. None of that occurred. And I will say right now that that is false footage. And I would like to request an investigation into that and find the correct footage.
So you're suggesting that NCPD has given false footage to this courtroom?
I am suggesting that it might not have come from NCPD to begin with. I am stating the obvious that we have individuals a part of a gang, and it is very possible that inappropriate things have occurred leading to this trial.
So you are unaware that Miss Lee's companion was murdered that day?
I am aware that they were laying down. Their condition as I left, I did not personally check, no. So I believe you that perhaps they have perished, but I did not check their state.
Ms. Stinovich, would you explain to the court, please, your occupation?
I'm a mechanic.
A mechanic. I see.
Yeah.
And where are you from, ma'am?
I'm from where I'm from.
From where you're... Okay. Your Honor, it has come to the court's attention that Ms. Stinovich is actually a well-known nomad and a drug runner for several nomad clans.
I again would like to object, Your Honor. Where did this evidence come from? And why wasn't it presented in discovery?
It was presented in discovery. Again, several weeks ago, Mr. Dimwitten.
Oh, poor Hopscotch.
Yes, I would be curious to hear the origin of this these allegations.
Your Honor, I would also like to bring to attention the defendants have not given anything to the prosecution in regards to discovery that was filed again properly several weeks ago. As a matter of fact, in response to the request for formal discovery, not only did we hear nothing from Mr. Dimwitten's office, but we did get a response from Ms. Stinovich, which was crying, laughing emoji, oh my God, I love this. If you would please show that to the court.
That is exactly what Amy said when we received this.
Oh, it's amazing.
I am the best lawyer.
Oh my God. Yeah, I knew Ray was gonna kick my ass, but damn it, it took like 12 seconds. This is
awful. Awesome.
Your Honor, is it my turn with the witness yet?
Miss Hasselbeck, any further questions for Miss Dinovich?
Yes. Miss Dinovich, do you know a Dr. Karada?
We've met. Do
You've
you
met.
not also receive dental care?
Is that how you know him? Dental care, ma'am?
Well, it's how I know him now.
Have you done any
Wow.
business with Dr. Karada?
Sure.
Would you like to explain that to the court?
I would love for you to explain the relevance.
Character witness, if you would please, Miss Dinovich.
If you would please.
He's going to be a character witness.
Right.
I would like for you to please explain your relationship to him, how you know him, why you know him. I would very
Friendly
much love for both of
acquaintances.
your stories to match.
Very friendly acquaintances.
And you've never done any business with him?
Oh, I didn't get paid for that last bit, no.
I see. Have you been to his office?
Yeah, it's lovely. They have a mediocre selection of magazines in the front, but it works.
Were you there alone, or were you there with the rest of your gang?
It is so funny you use the term gang. So fun. Which time?
Anytime.
Well, let's see. The first time we went was to offer help because we had been made aware of some trouble that a local gang was causing my fellow citizens, and we really disagree with the harm that's caused in such a manner, so we went to support and see what we could do to help the fine dentist.
Well, that sounds very kind of you. What kind of support did you offer?
Well, we respectfully asked that the parties involved no longer harass this particular superior dental practitioner.
And how did you go about that, ma'am?
Huh. I don't really remember. I think I got hit in the head that day.
I see. Could you have been hit in the head, perhaps, when you were busy murdering again a Mr. Saber?
You are, respectfully, just a little confused.
Confused.
I do not murder individuals. Again, that is a well-established fact among the community. That's just not my thing.
What
I
about
believe
arson?
in the law enforcement.
Is arson your thing?
No, that wasn't me. No.
Also not your thing.
No. No.
Could you
It's
tell
a shame
me?
about that faulty technology, that faulty computer. Just somebody should really keep their equipment clean and maintained. You don't want stuff like that to happen.
That's interesting that you mention a computer. What computer would that be, ma'am?
How should I know?
Well, you just brought it up.
Well, that's what it said, that it was a fire caused by faulty wiring. I read that on the garden.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Were you ever at that kibble restaurant that burned down, ma'am?
I did go once. It made me vomit. It was so terrible. 0 stars.
Yeah, were you ever in the back offices?
Well, I had no idea there were multiple, so I guess I just haven't been there.
You haven't been in the back offices of that kibble restaurant?
No,
The kibble
I
restaurant
definitely did not go into plural back offices. Nope.
Okay.
No.
Your Honor, if you would please look at the photos of Exhibit C.
As up on the display are very damaged frames showing people that could vaguely potentially be Hopscotch and the crew in the back offices of this kibble restaurant. Most of the footage has been damaged in a fire, but they were able to recover a couple frames.
You'll note that that is you and your, again, gang in the back office of this kibble restaurant.
Your Honor, that's conjecture.
The same face.
Well, you see,
Let's
belt.
have a bureaucracy or a persuasion, Smitty.
All right. It's an 18 for bureaucracy.
Oh, okay. And your rebuttal, Miss Hasselbeck?
well, I do have corroborating evidence. So while this does, in my humble opinion, Your Honor, very clearly appear to be Miss Dinovich and her gang, we do also have some GPS tracking evidence that can corroborate that she was there at that time. So this clearly must be her. The belt that she has stolen from Miss Ming has a tracking device on it. She was wearing the belt at that time.
No, I wasn't.
Your Honor,
She's even wearing it now, Your Honor.
we have
I was.
we have
not wearing
submitted
the belt.
all the tracking evidence to the court.
All right. Can I have a bureaucracy roll as well?
$24.
All right. Let's.
Love you, Amy.
I'm getting my ass handed to me. This is great.
Let's move on to a different line of questioning.
Your Honor, I'm actually done with my questions for the defendant here.
Ah, excellent. Mr. Dimwitten, it is your witness.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. And he's going to straighten up a little bit. Now Ms. Dinovich, let's start off where my esteemed colleague, where she left off. Now, this you said you were not wearing the belt on your visit to this kibble shop. Is that correct?
I had no such belt on. That is correct.
And yet they claim to still have tracking information on you. Is that also correct? Am I correct in understanding that, counsel? That you claim to have tracking information on my client for the date this noodle shop she went to burnt down?
We 100% have tracking information on Miss Dinovich. All from the belt that was stolen.
Okay, well, my client says right here she wasn't wearing the belt. And actually, I want to look at this picture that's up on screen. Does it look like the person in that picture is wearing the belt?
Ooh, let's do a. How about a perception?
Okay, I can roll that. It's an 11.
There is a light spot in a general belt-ish location on a person, but it's hard to tell. Like, you'd really have to squint to consider it a belt.
I make movement that we have an outside third party try and reconstruct this footage, because to me that does not look like a belt, Your Honor. So I think this is conjecture. This is speculative evidence that does not bear any place in court.
Your Honor,
it's pure conjecture.
We have a photo of the defendant with tracking information also on the defendant at that place at that time.
What I'm hearing, Your Honor, is that counsel is admitting to illegally tracking my client.
It's not illegally tracking. We're tracking the belt that was stolen. It's
the
not
belt
our
that she
fault.
was not wearing that day. The
She
belt that you
was.
cannot prove she was wearing that day. You have a couple of light pixels on a screen, and your word.
And the word of the defendant, which has already been proven to be a liar.
We've also, there's witnesses yet to be called. You calling them liars too?
Well, they haven't been called yet, so no, but she is contradicting the very clear video evidence we have.
I'm sorry, but if that's very clear to you, you need your eyes checked.
I'm talking about the first evidence of the murder, Mr. Dimwitton.
I haven't gotten to that yet. We're going to get to that, Counselor. We will get to that because, oh boy, that's a steaming pile of hooey.
I do think we should have some video reconstruction performed on these frames. We will see if we have some of our tech crew to take a look and see what they can recreate from this.
Your Honor, I do have a Netrunner handy.
Objection, Your Honor. I believe a neutral third party is the most prudent course of action here to seek justice.
Very, very fair, Mr. Dimwitton. Yes, we will have a third party review these video frames and see.
I'd also like to motion that the video evidence that my esteemed peer here seems to be relying so heavily on, I'd like that to be analyzed by an independent third party as well. It don't look right to me, and my client says that's not how it went down. Everybody I've interviewed has said that's not how it's gone down. And so I'd like a neutral third party on that as well.
Your Honor, that evidence was retained from NCPD.
And?
Are you suggesting that NCPD is corrupt, Mr. Dimwitton?
I'm suggesting it's a well-known fact in Night City that corporations quite often buy justice. That's
And what corporation would buy justice for noodle shop waterboarding?
I don't know. Noodle shop waterboarding, what's that?
That's what happened to my client.
That sounds horrible. I don't think that happened. That's not the sort of thing my client would do. It's not the sort. I mean, I've met Miss Dinovich here. She's a pillar of the community. You know, she's a practitioner of
Objection, Your Honor. It's speculation.
I didn't say which community, Your Honor.
Very well.
Yeah.
Can I have some persuasion rolls from our two attorneys here?
Oof.
Oof.
Oh, all right.
Damn it, Smitty.
Oh, Smitty. What kind of lawyer are you, sir?
Apparently not a good one.
Amy, I'm sorry.
Just remember that it's your rent money going out the door too.
Good thing
All right.
Scroll has that money.
I need cab. Where the fuck is cab?
Cash
we will
probably
start with
watching
the
intently from the back row, like, oh shit.
I'm just making eye contact with like these help me puppy eyes every time I look up at Cab. Like, we would.
Cab's probably back there meanwhile thinking about a second ID
Holly.
she has hidden away.
Call Atwood, yeah.
Yeah, we need real footage. Call Atwood.
Cav's furiously texting in the back.
Let's start with reconstructing these frames, Mr. Dimwitton, and we'll see if we need to call NCPD's character into question.
I appreciate you keeping it on the table, Your Honor. Now back to the matter at hand, Miss Dinovich. You have a bit of a reputation for using belts. Is that correct?
Yeah, they are so fashionable. Really underappreciated as a fashion choice, if I'm being honest.
Well, while I don't disagree with you there, you have been known to restrain people rather than harm them, using whatever's available, often belts.
Yeah, belts are great for that. Shoelaces, old phone cables. Really? Yeah, definitely.
So what I'm understanding here, though, is that you have... Hey. You can speak on your turn. Right now, it's my turn to speak. But what I'm understanding here, that Ms. Dinovich, is that you take great care to use whatever tools are available to you to not end the life of anybody who you happen to be confronting. Is that a true statement?
Absolutely correct.
Okay. And you have character witnesses who could corroborate this.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll call them later. And like I said, you are a pillar of your community. And just because that's not a Night City community, and he's going to kind of give the side eye to Ray's character, doesn't mean it's not an upright community. And you play a vital role in your community. People rely on you. Is this correct?
Yes, correct.
And this group of friends that you work with, these I don't know. I'd call them outcasts that you seem to have taken under your wing, that you're protecting.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Cav's probably in the back like,
I just wink at Cav, like...
They're calling that a gang, but really I see a homeless kid and a doctor from somewhere that ain't here, and, a MaxTac officer who's probably carrying around so much trauma. You got to take care of her too, I'm sure. Because when you're a MaxTac officer, sometimes people just rush out of nowhere and attack you. Isn't that right, Ms. Dinovich?
That is correct.
Because that's what you saw on the date in question, isn't it? You saw these two Tiger Claws, these known gang members, rush Officer Young in the street, in the restaurant. After she came into the restaurant, you saw these two known gang members who have, I'm sure, I've got somebody working on it right now, the list of warrants and crimes they're part of, the rap sheet a mile long. You saw them charge Officer Young and assault her with intent to kill. And you, being the pillar of the community, you stepped in. You not only defended the officer, but you restrained rather than eliminating one of these gang members.
That is correct. I use restraint only.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Dinovich. You may step down. Ms. Hasselbeck, do you have any other witnesses you would like to call?
Your Honor, I'd like to call to the stand Gertie Janadick.
All right. And from outside comes a rather disheveled-looking fella. Comes up to the stand. Hey.
Gertie, how are you doing this morning?
Fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. Thank you for asking. Do you know why you're here today?
I do not.
You know. Well, do you know Miss Dinovich here? And she's gonna point at Hopscotch.
No, I don't know by that name, but I know her.
You know her. And who do you know her by?
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch. Your Honor, let it be known that that is Mistinovich's street name. And Gertie, how do you know Hopscotch?
And nothing I say in here is going to get me in trouble.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I have purchased something from her before.
What things have you purchased? Again, you are in no trouble. We just want you to tell the truth.
She has provided some synth coke on occasion.
Synth coke. How was that provided to you?
It was smuggled inside of pharmaceutical drug shipments. And he kind of leans back.
Pharmaceutical drug shipment. How did she get that to you?
It was delivered to a clinic, and I was told by her, and he kind of points that which shipment it would be in and where I could find the drugs, and then I would take them and I would sell them.
You would sell them. Did you also use the drugs that
on occasion I may have used some.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, before you met Miss Hopscotch, what was your profession?
I was in fact a nurse.
You were a nurse. That's quite a noble profession. You're helping people. You saved lives.
I did, and then she started to ask questions if there were other things that we would need, and that's a slippery slope.
I see. So, in meeting Mistinovich here, Hopscotch, she essentially turned you into a junkie, making you a dealer for her.
She did ruin my life.
Another life ruined, Your Honor.
But at least I was not noodle boarded.
I would like to roll. I want to roll a human perception on that.
What,
Absolutely.
you want to know if he was noodle boarded as well?
How would they even know about that?
Yeah, I want to know, A, how did he know about that? And B, that sounds like he was fed that lie.
Well, he was in the courtroom for the first half of the trial, so
well, some
he
of
heard
us
about
weren't,
the noodle board.
Ray.
Yeah, his let's see.
And I am fully in Smitty's ear. Like, I have never met that person before in my life. I have never sold synth coke in my life, and I am just so pissed off. And Smitty is hearing all of it.
It is. He's definitely awkward on the stand. It is kind of hard to get a read on him. He's definitely high.
He's definitely high.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it my witness now?
Yeah,
do you
no
have any
further
other
questions, Your Honor.
Dimwin, your witness.
Okay. Mr. Judonic. I got one question for you right now. And remember, like Ms. Hasselbeck said, you're not in trouble. But are you high right now?
I am quite high, sir.
Motion to throw his testimony out, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor. Just because he is under the influence doesn't mean he's a bad witness. The reason he's under the influence is because of defendant here.
He's under the influence of drugs that
were given to him by the defendant, Your Honor.
So he claims, but these drugs impair his ability to separate reality from fiction, especially, Your Honor, if people are feeding lines into his ear.
Objection, Your Honor. Defense is saying that the witness is being coached.
Movement to remove this
That's
witness.
speculation, Your Honor.
They're high. Clearly, they've been coached.
Your Honor, that's slander and libel.
Let's.
I didn't write it down.
Let's do persuasion, and Smitty there because he's high. Let's give you a +3.
All right, cool. Fucking need it. Smitty looks just as high.
We will take his mental state into account, but that is noted in the record. Thank you for that, Mr. Dimwit.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Get it together, Gregory.
Greg's fine. It's Smitty.
Amy's about to go real hopscotch and noodleboard Greg.
Fly out here.
Just wait till I see you.
October's scary now.
Are there any further questions, Mr. Dimwit?
Now you say that you're for certain that my client, him as Dinovich, is the one who sold you this. Who coerced you into this? Tell me, how hard did she have to work to coerce you? Were you just looking to make a few quick eddies, or were you just more interested in maybe getting your hands on some of that supply?
It started with real drugs, and then things that were harder to get. But then, she offered for to sell us the synth coke, and said it would help out the clinic and help keep it afloat, so we could help more people. But she made me try it before she would start the shipments.
Okay. Do you have dates for this? I assume you have dates for this, and this all happened at your clinic,
I haven't
correct?
been on a date in a while.
No, I'm not asking you on a date, sir. I'm asking if you know the calendar date that this happened.
Oh, yeah. It's yeah.
Okay. And is that before or after my client supposedly stole the belt?
This is about a year or so before.
So I assume, counselor, you don't have any illegal tracking information on my client from before this incident. Is that accurate?
We have no tracking information of Miss Dinovich at all. What we have is tracking information on the stolen belt. Again.
I'd like to see those records because those do not line up.
Those were all submitted in Discovery weeks ago.
I will like recess, Your Honor.
Oh my gosh.
Any further questions, Mr. Dimwitten?
Yeah, who's your guy?
Hopscotch.
No, come on. I know you're not buying from Hopscotch off the street. Who's your guy? He's gonna lean in real close. Come on, man. Just tell me. He's trying to act like he's also jonesing for some synth coke.
Yeah, give me an acting.
Okay. Oh fuck.
This guy does not even have. Oh, he does.
That's a 4.
Oh, Greg.
Oh my gosh.
Did you roll anything above a 3 tonight? Please.
I don't think I have.
I'm just asking you, please.
I'm trying. Ask Foundry. Ask Foundry, because it's not me.
Genuine and desperate sounding, Amy.
I am too. We can't lose Hopscotch to
Please roll
jail.
4 or more.
Ming is
Season
over there
2,
kind of
break
nudging
Hopscotch out.
Evelyn and being like, I think we can get more.
I'm just still looking back at Cav with puppy eyes.
Can I get a human perception on Maylin saying I think we can get more?
Yeah.
Did I roll something against this?
Yeah, you could do stealth to keep it quiet. You could do acting to kind of to portray something. You could do
Stealth, because that's in there. Only a 10.
a little bit louder than you expected.
Okay. Smitty will note that.
And Garrity here will kind of lean forward. Since Hopscotch went underground and stopped providing me these drugs, I got a guy, Carrie.
Carrie, I'll get you. Have you give me some more information on him. But I'm a little more interested. When did Hopscotch go underground?
About a year ago, she stopped giving us the shipments of even the pharmaceuticals.
So about a year ago, she started giving you shipments of pharmaceuticals. About a year ago, she stopped giving you shipments of pharmaceuticals. That's what I'm hearing?
There was a brief window she was selling us stuff.
And you're claiming in that brief window where you were, of your own admission, high out of your fucking gourd, you're claiming you recognized somebody from over
Objection,
a year ago
Your
that you
Honor,
saw
leading
a
the
couple
witness.
of times. He's admitted to being high. Is that not true?
He was
Were you
not
high at the
high
time?
when he met Miss Dinovich.
He said
Not
the
the
first time
first
he
time.
met Miss Dinovich, he did coke. That is
That
what
is
he
not
said.
what he said. Objection again, Your Honor.
Whether he was asked to do it by Ms. Dinovich or not is not important. He was high the first time he met her and every time after that.
Objection, Your Honor.
Is that accurate?
That is not what.
Is that accurate,
Gertie
Mr.
said.
Dodonic?
The first time I met her, I was not high until she made me get high.
But during that initial encounter, you were under the influence of drugs that do impact your ability to perceive reality. Correct?
After he was forced to do the drugs by Miss Dinovich.
Irrelevant.
He's gonna point and be like,
This is an encounter
not
over a year
irrelevant,
ago.
Your Honor.
This is an encounter over a year ago, and he was high. By his own admission, he was high. Whether or not that was by his own willingness, he was under the influence of drugs.
after I met her, but that's her. That's Hopscotch, isn't it? That's her.
Isn't it?
I have no faith in your testimony, and my client, who, by the way, Your Honor, is not high, says she's never met the man before.
Well, we definitely did. And he's just going to kind of like cross his arms.
Why don't you walk me through, since you seem to remember it so well, despite the fact that you, of your own admission, were high that day. Why don't you walk me through exactly what happened? You know, how you know that despite her having a different look, it being over a year, and you having rotted away God knows how much of your brain with the synth coke.
You don't forget a face like that. I mean, let's be honest.
Look, she's pretty. I ain't denying that, but I've forgotten plenty of pretty faces.
So she would provide us pharmaceutical supplies, and then one day she said, "Hey, do you need a little extra money to keep the clinic afloat?" And we always do, trying to help people. And she's like, "I've got this synth coke, but you got to be cool, about it." And then she made me try some, and then send us regular shipments, and then we would be able to help more people.
You thought that selling people cocaine was helping them.
No, keeping the clinic afloat was helping people.
And you were doing that by selling the people you were trying to help cocaine.
We weren't selling to the patients. I mean, occasionally they became patients.
So you weren't really helping anybody. You were just... You were creating more patients for yourself. You were selling these drugs to your own
Objection, Your
community
Honor.
with the
Gertie's
intent
not on
to
trial
line your
here.
own pockets.
Miss Dinovich is.
Sustained.
I'm not putting him on trial here. I'm just saying it's further evidence, Your Honor, that this is an unreliable witness.
Your objections to this witness have been noted, sir.
No further questions, because I want to hear the truth.
All right. Ms. Hasselbeck, any further witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to bring to the stand someone who can actually help corroborate that Ms. Dinovich here was a drug mule for several nomad clans, and can also help corroborate that Gertie here was simply used by Ms. Dinovich.
Smitty is going to lean over to Hopscotch. Hey, were you a drug mule?
No, never. We ship mostly produce out of my truck. Like, we're farmers and mechanics. I'm a mechanic.
You look like a mechanic.
Thank you.
I mean that as a compliment.
It is one. I don't do drugs. I do not sell drugs. I've beaten the crap out of a lot of people that do. It was on accident, and you know that.
She has drugs done to her. She doesn't do them.
I don't do them on purpose.
Okay,
Your Honor,
I
would like to bring to the stand Mr. Shadow.
Wait, didn't we kill him?
Mike!
Greg says, above the table.
Mike!
What?
Oh!
Also above the table, Amy, I have to say, I fucking love that your notes are handwritten and that you just take a photo of them. I absolutely love that about you.
Yes, I did do that.
That's amazing.
Good for you that you could read them. But what? I didn't think that would.
Miss Lee has a very good lawyer.
Yeah, apparently. Fucking partner. Up against Mr. 17 tries.
Yeah, no, so if when I hear that name, I'm gonna turn back at Cav, and like the desperation on my face is gonna be so noticeable. Like, you will be able to see every part of my body clench, and like, you know, Cav is gonna know, like, oh fuck,
something's wrong.
And he is going to walk in, kind of just slyly.
That's not how I pictured him.
Kind of smile.
I just want you to know that he's like really hot. In reality, guys, like.
Yeah, I couldn't ask
putting
for help
static up against it would be a close call. Like,
yeah, this is like
Shadow's
if Static
fucking hot.
was a grizzled like. This is older Static if he survives.
Yeah, maybe a few things have happened over the last few years, but I would like the record to show that Shadow's really hot. That's all.
Oh shit.
So he's just gonna kind of come in and kind of just slyly kind of give a little like wink at Hopscotch as he takes a seat.
Just flat demeanor, not gonna give in to any of it.
Good morning, Mr. Shadow. How are you doing?
Very well. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. You're aware as to why you've been called to the stand today?
I am.
All right. Why don't you tell the court here how you know Miss Dinovich?
Well, I was a colleague of Ms. Dinovich here for a while. We would do some medical supply shippings, produce, those kinds of things. But I eventually became aware that she was smuggling some drugs into those shipments that were illicit and not things that we wanted to be involved with. That's, we don't want to ruin the family name, if you will.
The Nomad clan name, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I see. So it was Miss Dinovich's idea to sell these illicit drugs.
Yes, it was. That was entirely her operation.
Did anything ever go awry while you were making these supply drops with Miss Dinovich?
I did try to confront her once about when she started to begin to traffic people. I became concerned and confronted her at the time, but was wounded in the process and barely escaped with my life.
Wounded? How?
She was a crack shot and shot me right in the chest, and I was very lucky that it missed the major organs, but took a while to recover. So I'm
It's a
going to
wonder
look
you
over at
survived.
Hopscotch and just I'm sorry, but I have to tell the truth.
Tell me, Shadow, how did you survive? Did you have to go to the hospital?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you had extensive bills.
It was, so many bills. It was quite a lot of reconstructive surgery.
You're probably still underwater, aren't you?
Yeah, and still in pain.
Every day.
It is a struggle every day.
Tell me, did you ever do any shipments to Gertie's clinic?
Yeah. He was one of our longest medical shipments. One of our first suppliers. He's been on the family rate forever.
I see. Approximately how long were you working with Hopscotch selling the illicit drugs?
Man, I don't know when she started, but I became aware a little over a year ago that she was smuggling these drugs in.
Mm-hmm. And after she attempted to murder you, what happened?
I had to go into hiding. I didn't want to show my face. I was afraid she'd come back to finish the job.
You've been in hiding all this time.
I have.
You haven't been able to return home to your family, your clan.
I haven't been able to work. I haven't been able to go home. No. So I would assume that's the first place she would have looked.
At any point in your time with Miss Dinovich, have you seen her murder anyone else?
I've seen her rough some people up, but I haven't seen her actually murder anyone. The only time, the closest she came was me, and then I had to flee.
So she is known to be violent.
Quite
violent. Well, I am sorry that you haven't been able to return home. Maybe after justice is served today, you'll be able to.
That is the hope, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimwin, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Shadow, is it? Shadow. That's your name, correct? That's what you go by, your street name. What's your real name, Mr. Shadow?
Amy, would you like to fill in the real name?
I'm not pulling up my notes real quick. It's fine. Because I sure as shit didn't think that Ray knew about Shadow. Did not think that was coming into
Ray
play.
knows.
But I for sure would have leaned over to Smitty and explained, like, all of these things that he was saying were the things that he was doing, and I cut him off. Like, and he's not welcome home. He's not welcome to the tribe because he's doing these awful things.
And he's part of the same tribe?
I don't have a real name for Shadow, so I'm gonna call him Michael Chadwick. Michael Chadwick.
And he was part of the same clan?
No.
Okay.
But like a friendly one, like, you know, a neighbor clan, sister cities, if you will. So knew each other,
Gotcha.
pretty well.
Well, Mr. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Chadwick. Sir?
Chadwick. Mr. Chadwick. You said you were running with Hopscotch for quite a while. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you said you were a long-time supplier for. I apologize. I'm forgetting the last witness's name.
Garrity's clinic. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Yeah, his clinic, the place where you were running drugs to. Now I need a little bit of clarification because what you were just telling counselor over there, Miss Hasselback, is that you total brain fart. Is that you were working with the previous witness for a very, very long time, but what the previous witness says is they were only working with you for a year or for a short period. It sounds like maybe a month. So help me make sense of that, Shadow.
Yeah, we supplied legitimate drugs to their clinic for quite a while. But the illicit drugs was a very short window until I became aware and put a stop to it.
Okay, what brought this to your attention?
First, the drugs I became aware when completely by happenstance. You knock over a cart and a case and it kind of cracks open and some drugs roll out that we were not expecting to be there. Some crates show up that aren't on the manifest. Little inconsistencies.
I assume you have records you can provide to corroborate all of this.
Absolutely.
Checks,
I mean, it is
make
a
sure they're not in there.
It is a nomad operation, so the record keeping is a little scarce, but we do have general agreements and kind of contracts, if you will.
But what you're telling me is that there's no real details in those. Then they'd be pretty easy to falsify or, change up.
You can ask your client how easy they were to falsify. She had been doing it for a while.
Well, I'm asking you, Shadow. I'm asking you.
Yeah, she was quite good at it. It took us a while to catch on.
I'm asking you. Not what you think my
never
client
falsified
did.
any records.
Human perception right there. Jesus Christ. 14.
New high roll.
It was
Yeah, seriously.
improvement for you.
Yeah, he is quite smooth.
Okay.
He's well practiced if he's not telling the truth or he believes what he's saying.
Just thinking.
Your Honor, if there's no further questions from the defense, I'd like to call my next witness, please.
Hey, I have my time with the witness. I gave you yours. Now, let me make sure
Yes,
I've
but
asked
mine
everything.
wasn't filled with silence.
Yeah, you lawyer your way, I'll lawyer mine. Okay? If I need a minute to think, I need a minute to think.
Boy, howdy, it would have been cool to know that this was going to happen.
If your lawyer looked at the discovery,
Shit, I knew I was missing something. Just one more question, Mr. Shadow. Give me a name from somebody at your clan that I can reach out to corroborate your story.
Yes. I don't know if I don't know what happened to her. I do believe she probably went into hiding as well. But I did confront Hopscotch with a Candence. You might be able to track her down.
And we'll see what we can do finding her. But no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. As he walks by and just winks yet again at Hopscotch.
I just look straight, but I hear that name and I start breathing heavier. Like it's choking to like, I feel like I can't breathe at that moment.
Tell me what's going on. That name seemed to get you spooked.
He just said it to be a horrible person. Okay, he's just trying to be a horrible person, and he is a horrible person. And I did none of that. He did all of it. We can literally call anybody from my entire tribe, from the next 2 tribes over. There's not a single person that is going to corroborate that bullshit story.
All right, hey, give me a sec. I got someone at my door.
Yeah.
My lawyer won't even stay with me.
He was late to the court.
My lawyer just fucking left. Your Honor.
This is your sister's recommendation.
Well, my sister is in a lot of trouble at this moment. But also, I really
in a
wish
lot
she
of
was
trouble
here.
at this moment.
Yeah.
I need my sister right now. And my dad. I need my dad.
Aw.
Who probably would have, like, actively murdered Shadow in that courtroom if they had any idea what was going on.
Just give me some names. We'll get them in here. You know, I can't imagine we're going to wrap this up today, so we'll get them in here tomorrow, and you know, we'll go from there. If you've got people who can corroborate what you're saying, who can shoot his story down, the more the merrier. All right.
Yeah.
If you got if we can pack this courtroom with fucking diesel smelling leather.
I literally could.
All right. Well, then let's try and do that. Let's try and do that, because if we could get a bunch of people character witnesses for you.
Objection, Your Honor. This should have been done weeks ago. You can't call for character witnesses mid-trial.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could. That's a thing.
Well, we will have some bureaucracy to.
Yeah, I'll roll the bureaucracy to see if I can finagle some sort of 15.
Cite some
right.
prior
And
trials
then,
for him, Ray.
Seriously.
Yeah, we can. We'll see how that plays out. Miss Hasselbeck, any further witnesses you would like to call?
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to call, please, Mr. Calla Barrison.
I just lean back over. I don't know who that is. I have never heard that name before.
Shuffling through Discovery paper looking for this
I
name.
don't know who that is.
As she walks in, she does look vaguely familiar, Hopscotch. Can I have a concentration roll?
Now that name kind of looks familiar. My God, was that from like episode 1 or something?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Oh, was that the pink-haired person?
It's the person you stole the belt from fighting the bozos in Salt and Batteries.
I mean,
Like the first time you grabbed the belt.
They were also under attack.
Yes.
Like they were fine with it. What was it?
Concentration.
Concentration. Thank you. I'm so flustered by 15.
Yeah, with a 15, you can, the name, you're like, what? But then as you see her face, you're like, oh, the belt, the bozos. Yeah.
And I just smile very politely because I'm like, they were harmed and they willingly were like, hey, let me help. So I remember it.
Takes a seat.
Calla, how are you doing this morning?
Very well.
And you know why you're brought on the stand today?
Yes. To talk about the incident with Miss Hopscotch over there, whose name I didn't get at the time, but thank you. And she's gonna look at Hopscotch and thank you.
Tell me about the evening that you met Miss Dinovich.
It started out as a normal evening, with some friends over at the a bar, Salt and Batteries. Just drinking, having a good time, listening to some good music playing, and all of a sudden these flames start to show up. These clowns burst in and start this giant brawl, and things are getting thrown around, tables, people. It was just total chaos. And then Miss Hopscotch over there reached over and stole my belt to restrain some bozos, and we then were able to run out and get away and to safety.
So you didn't give her your belt; she just took it.
No, she definitely just took it, but it did save my life.
Yes, but she took it without your permission.
Yes, we did not. There was no discussion.
That's all. No further questions.
Your witness, Mr. Dimwit.
Ms. Barrison, I appreciate your testimony. I understand reliving a traumatic event like that cannot be easy. You said multiple times that my client Hopscotch saved your life. Is that correct?
Yes, the building was on fire and full of terrifying psychopathic clowns.
And so what she did is she put herself at risk by choosing to stay in a burning building full of psychopathic clowns so that she could restrain somebody who is trying to do you harm. Is that your recollection of events?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to look at the jury. That sounds to me like the definition of a hero, does it not? Somebody putting themselves directly in harm's way to save another person. Did she take the belt without directly asking for permission? Yeah, sure. But Miss Barrison here, she's thanked her for doing it. So there's no crime committed there. Further, this demonstrates that my client, Hopscotch, as everybody in the community knows her, is, as I've said before, not only an upstanding pillar of her own community, but right here, she saved countless lives at the bar fire at Salt and Batteries. And we've had multiple people up here tonight already telling us how she saved them, how she's not some violent psychopath. And Miss Barrison, would you describe the totality of Hopscotch's actions that night as selfless and heroic?
She definitely did help out quite a few people.
Okay, and have you heard anything else about Miss Hopscotch here? She known in your community?
I did not know who she was at the time. Did not get her name or anything. It was a very brief exchange where she took the belt and then saved me.
But since then, have you heard stories of her doing similar things for other people in your neighborhood? Like maybe shutting down a ring of kiddie fights? Or helping ensure that a community kitchen has food? Or maybe just making sure your neighbor's car runs so he can get to work on time. All of these things Hopscotch is known for. She has a reputation for helping. She has a reputation for going out of her way not to kill. And she has a reputation for putting herself in harm's way to protect, this is of your own admission, Miss Barrison, a total fucking stranger.
Yeah, I was not aware of her other deeds, but the night that I did meet her, she did help quite a bit.
The night you met her, she did help quite a bit. No further questions, Your Honor.
All right.
We need Ming because Donnie just looks too good to be sitting there.
Right? Yeah, we gotta get Donnie up here.
Soon.
Any other witnesses, Miss Hasselbeck?
Your Honor, I'd like to call to the stand Dr. Kurata. Love you, Amy.
All right.
I'm gonna be so sad if I get dumped because of you. I think you're gonna feel bad if
I'm
I don't get
noticing
another
a trend
date.
I
Right?
think I will. I think
in
I'll
these
be fine.
guys. They're all a little gruff.
Yeah, so a very familiar looking Dr. Kurata will come and take the stand.
Dr. Kurata, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, very well.
Do you know why you're on the stand this morning?
I believe we're here to speak about the lovely Hopscotch.
You know Miss Dinovich.
I do.
Tell me, how do you know Miss Dinovich?
Originally, she helped me out with a small problem that we were having at the at my practice, and afterwards, we had a nice evening together.
You were having a problem at your practice.
Yes.
Oh, would you mind
there
explaining
was-
that to the court?
Sure. There was some vandalism happened, some threats, and Hopscotch and her friends came and spoke with me about it and offered to speak to those people who were harassing us. And after their chat, it stopped.
That sounds awfully kind of them to take care of that for you. You said her friends were with her when they
Yes.
came to your office. Tell me, could you explain her friends to me?
Sure. One was an officer, so I assumed our reports to NCPD had gotten their attention. There was a large man with them. Scars on him. Quiet, but a nice guy. Also, in the medical profession. There was a very pretty but very out of it a friend with her as well.
I'm sorry. Could you please describe out of it?
Yes, it appears that he may have partaken in some nitrous before we had spoken. I was in the middle of a procedure, and they were in the one of the exam rooms for a little bit of time before I was able to get there. But I did give Hopscotch something to help straighten him out.
I'm sorry, Dr. Kurata. Are you saying that Hopscotch's colleague was high on drugs from your own clinic when you first met?
That is a suspicion that I had at the time.
So he stole the drugs and then took them before meeting you to help you with this problem.
We don't have any cameras in there to be sure, but I do think that is what happened. But I don't believe Hopscotch was involved in the theft of the drugs.
I see. And could you tell me who your original problem was with, sir?
It was a man who goes by the name of Saber.
Saber. That's an interesting name. Do you know where he was located at all?
Not entirely. He usually he would show up in the lobby and start demanding payments and knocking things over, and his friends would come and harass my patients.
I see. Your Honor, I would like it to be known that Saber was one of the partial owners of the Kibble restaurant that burned down after Miss Dinovich and her gang members had arrived. Mr. Saber is now missing. Presumed dead.
Oh.
Dr. Kurata, after your problem was solved by Miss Dinovich and her fellow gang members, could you tell me how did you pay her?
she requested a connection to my fixer for medical supplies.
I see. At any point, did she request nitrous from you, sir?
Objection, Your Honor. No, wrong voice.
Too many voices.
It's just static in the fucking audience. Damn. Objection.
Your lawyer doesn't even know who he is.
I know, I'm fucked.
Nitrous isn't illegal.
I mean, is it even really a drug, honestly?
I
think you're really just pushing the limit there with the term drug.
Yeah, it's a commonly used substance that many medical practitioners, like my client's friend Scrawl, use regularly to perform perfectly legal and above board operations and procedures. There's nothing illegal about nitrous oxide, Yana.
Your Honor, the prosecution isn't suggesting that nitrous oxide is illegal. It's suggesting that Hopscotch and her gang members have taken drugs as payment.
That's still your witness.
That noted. It is noted that in the proper hands, it is not a illicit substance.
Dr. Karada, could you tell me afterwards, have you spent any time with Miss Dinovich?
Yes.
Relevant.
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Your Honor, Dr. Karada can corroborate with the tracking information on the belt that Miss Dinovich has stolen.
Were you wearing that every time you were with him?
No, I've not been wearing it, is what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't have the fucking belt on.
She did not have the belt on, Your Honor, so if they do have tracking information for that period of time, then they are again admitting to illegally tracking my client.
Your Honor, again, we were not tracking Miss Dinovich, we're tracking the belt.
Which my client was not wearing at the time of her romantic liaisons with the very attractive Dr. Karada here.
He is ruggedly handsome.
Is he not? I see exactly what you went for.
He is ruggedly handsome. Just
Dr.
stare
Karada,
into the picture.
Do you
for
recall
a, while
a belt?
It grows on you.
I'm sure he would, because he was taking it off, so he would probably remember.
Well, he probably took off like 11 of them, but guess what? None of them were that belt.
God, this takes forever.
I happened to wear a very tasteful leather harness that day, and it only has one buckle, and
Quick
it
release.
was not the belt in question.
Quick release. Which belt buckle was this?
And she will show the belt in question.
Yeah, and she was not. I do not recall her wearing that belt on that evening that we spent together.
Okay, but you do recall belts.
Yes, there were a couple belts.
I see.
Fashion.
Dr. Karada, since the arson on your suspected troublemakers, have you had any more trouble?
We have not.
Have you heard at all from the gentleman, Mr. Saber, since Hopscotch's meeting with him?
No, nothing.
Perhaps that's because he's dead?
I don't know.
No further questions.
Mr. Dimwitten.
Dr. Karada, you said that my client came to you after learning that you were being harassed by Saber, who is a... would I know if he was a gang member? Can I roll bureaucracy to see if I found his rap sheet in the discovery?
I feel like Hopscotch
yeah.
would have blatantly been like, it's the same fucking gang as her.
Yeah, you
Just
could do
out loud.
bureaucracy. You could do local expert. Whatever.
I'll do bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a
Hey.
19.
Yeah, he's definitely a Tiger Claw. Definitely
Okay, so-
involved in extortion rackets.
So yeah, he will pull that sheet out from his kind of messy little manila. Now, Dr. Karada, you said that that the Saber fellow was harassing you and trying to extort you. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you reported this to NCPD?
Yes, several times.
Okay, and
With no response.
I'm looking through here. I do see numerous records, at least half a dozen in here, of you calling in and requesting help, and I don't see anything saying anybody ever went out. So you had a very clear need for somebody to help you because you were being extorted by this Saber fellow, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and my client, Hopscotch, as she's known in the community, reached out to you, offered to solve your problem, and the only thing she asked for, not drugs. She's not getting the drugs for you. She just asked for a connection to your supplier. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so in essence, she did this job for a phone number. She took care of somebody who's been extorting not only you, mind, but your entire neighborhood. I bet you ask anybody
Objection,
from that neighborhood.
speculation, Your Honor.
And can I check these records here? Do you see how many reports of extortion there are from that neighborhood being ignored?
And we don't know that that's from Saber. And being as he's not here
Okay,
because
and,
he's dead.
Objection on the objection, Your Honor.
You don't
That's
know that.
conjecture. A double objection.
Right. Let's get back to it.
Again, so Dr. Kurata, my client here offered to help you with a known problem out of the kindness of her heart, and her friends helped her solve that problem for you. Since that problem was solved, your business has been more profitable, and you've been able to help more people. And the only thing she asked for was a phone number. I mean,
Yes.
let me get this right. You got your phone number and your supplier's phone number. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, you're a couple of very pretty people. Go make beautiful fucking babies, please. But, yeah, so I'm not hearing anything criminal here. I'm hearing yet another act of community service from Hopscotch. Yet again, we have somebody on the stand saying Hopscotch went out of her way, put herself in danger to solve a problem for the community that, yet again, NCPD proper, no offense, MaxTech, was not solving. Is that about the size of it, Doctor?
Yes. Yeah. She offered to help solve a problem and did. Quite
No
efficiently.
further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Hasselbeck, any further witnesses?
Your Honor, I'd like to call my last witness, our plaintiff here, Miss Lee.
All right.
You look
Your
very
witness.
pretty, Miss Lee.
Now, Miss Lee's a looker.
Miss Lee, a vision
Courtroom
as
full of
always.
beautiful people.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, but it's just not true anymore. And you see it, she looks over the mascara is running because you've been crying at the shame and disgrace and the taunting by her victim. And meanwhile, she's like, as well as my burns, I'm hideous now.
Oh, you are.
Can I roll a human perception on that?
Absolutely.
All right, come on.
Let's do a persuasion Ming.
Fucking goddamn. It's a 13.
You can
It
tell
just wasn't
Ming
in the
was
cards for us,
beautiful
Greg.
before she was burned, Greg.
It wasn't meant for us tonight, buddy.
Guess not.
I'm going to hand Miss Lee some tissues so she can wipe her running mascara.
To be very gentle on the scarring.
Well,
Miss
I'm
Lee,
sorry, I didn't hear what Miss Lee got on her perception or her acting or
persuasion?
whatever it was. Yeah.
I don't know that I'm really
So-
acting or persuading. I really am burnt.
That's true. Yeah, we'll give
Yeah,
you
that's
a
actually
+3
true,
on
yeah.
that.
Well, let's see. I guess I'll roll something.
And then we'll give you a 3 bonus on it because you are telling the truth.
17.
Okay, yeah. Smitty believes you.
Miss Lee, I know it's very difficult to talk about the traumatic events that happened, but would you please, for the court, tell us about that fateful evening?
Well, of course. I was walking in, and me and my partner had just gotten off a long day working for our reputable business employer, and it was he'd finally asked me out, and it was pretty much a dream. And we walked into this noodle place, and this person was there, and then all of a sudden she eyed up my belt, and I it was bizarre. It was like watching a fiend, and just out of nowhere the attack came, and she took us down single-handedly, and that Max Tech officer didn't even help us. It was unbelievable. And then they murdered him. It was right in front of me. They just shot him dead. And they restrained me and held me tight, and they poured boiling noodles over my beautiful face.
Is that what happened to your hair?
It was. It used to be so pretty.
Miss Lee, I'm so sorry to hear about the tragic event, the murder of your boyfriend.
Well, I hoped he would be. We'll never know now.
Tell me, you said she eyed up my belt. She took us down. Could you please point out to the court who she is?
That demon there.
And what happened after, Miss Lee? What happened after Miss Dinovich and her assailants ran away?
Well, they abandoned us, and soon after NCPD came, and we made our report to them, and they just left us there hog-tied, and him lying in his own blood, and then they were gone into the night. Fortunately, my employer, they care deeply for their employees. They're such a good organization. They get a bad rap.
And could you tell me, why does this belt hold such significance for you?
Well, it was given to me as a reward for faithful employee.
I see. So there was significance for this. It wasn't just something you purchased for yourself. You were awarded this belt.
Correct. It was given to me by my employer, just showing how much I was appreciated as part of their reputable organization.
And that was just taken from you, stripped from you by Miss
Ripped
Dinovich.
away from me, along with my future.
And your beauty. Tell me, how many surgeries have you undergone already?
It's been a blur.
And I assume your medical bills are astronomical.
Incredibly.
Can you tell me about the pain that you experience on a daily basis?
Oh, it's just constant. It's like I feel those noodles daily.
And your vision, has that been affected at all?
Since then, I can hardly make out a thing. My eyes just water constantly.
I see. Have they told you how many more surgeries they suspect you'll need before you're even remotely normal again?
Objection, Your Honor. That's
She kind of whimpers a little bit. They said I'll never be the same.
Insult the witness.
You'll never be the same. That's what the doctors told you.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm trying with my therapist to come to grips with it.
Oh, so you've had to go to therapy because of this.
Yeah, I can't sleep or anything.
And tell me your friend, I'm assuming there were funeral expenses as well.
Yes, the company kindly handled that. They're so generous to us.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Dimwitton, any cross-exam?
I got a couple of questions for you, Miss Lee.
Hopscotch slides the rap sheet over to him and be like, "Don't forget."
Yeah, no, he's got that in his. Miss Lee,
It's like,
you mentioned your employer, but you've yet to name them. Would you mind telling me the name of your employer?
Well, of course, it's the Tiger Claw organization. They're very reputable.
The Tiger Claws, a well-known gang here in Night City that has an extensive reputation for drug running and smuggling and extortion. And hey, wow, extortion! Tiger
Objection,
Claws.
Your Honor. Just because some members of an organization are bad doesn't mean all members of an organization are bad.
That's right. I was a
Of
reputable
course
member.
not. I'm not sitting here saying, like, for instance, all of NCPD is crooked just because there's a couple of known crooked members. I'm not saying all Tiger Claws are violent, drug-selling, extorting, prostituting criminals. But a number of
You
them
mean
are.
like her?
No, I'm taking a look at this here, Miss Lee, and would you mind telling me, did the company, as you like to call them, did they sponsor your events on the date of December 8th, 2040? Was that a company-sponsored outing there?
That was before I was even with the company. Then it
Yeah,
wasn't
when
even.
did you join
it
the
wasn't.
company?
I wasn't even. It was found to be completely false. I was dismissed from charges.
When did you join the company, Ms. Lee?
Sometime after that.
Okay, why don't you give me a date?
Sometime between now and then.
Your Honor, can you maybe coerce
Objection,
the
Your Honor,
witness into
badgering
giving
the
an
witness.
actual answer?
Ever since the trauma dates are just so fuzzy.
Well played.
you can't see. How do you know that you're even looking at me, bitch?
Yeah, she raises another good question, Your Honor. What about...
That I definitely didn't say out loud in court. Just so
Right.
that was to Smitty only.
What about April 22nd, 41? Was that working for the company? Or how about January 3rd, 2042? What about that? But see, here's the one I got a
Objection,
real
Your Honor.
question on.
Badgering the witness.
This is not badgering. I'm reading the witness's rap sheet, Counselor.
So far,
Which
you've
has
brought
been
up 2
entered
different times I
into
was found to
evidence.
be falsely persecuted, just like this.
No. You were found guilty of attacking somebody. Tell me, do you think that the young trauma team trainee that you beat with a pipe, Ms. Lee, do you think they suffered pain? Do you
Listen,
think they...
just because I was in a club dancing and he grabbed me, I just defended myself.
I'm seeing a pattern here, Ms. Lee.
Yeah, false accusements over and over again, and just, it's a rough life out there. Sometimes kids are kids. I spray painted one building, and then I fought back, and I got attacked, and then here I
I'm
was
a little more
protesting
interested
against
in
the
these
evil of
assault with the deadly
Biotechnica.
weapon charges and these larceny charges and these illegal rallying charges. I mean, you've got quite the rap sheet here, Miss Lee, and you're a member of a known criminal organization.
I'm pretty sure in
And
this
further-
trial you have admitted to using drugs yourself, sir.
This is Night City. There's nothing legal about synth coke.
Objection, Your Honor. Yes, there is.
Your Honor, is synth coke illegal in Night City?
Yes, sir.
I withdraw what I formerly said.
Yeah,
Very well.
that's what I thought.
Now, I
Do
do
you
have
have
a
any
few
other
more
further
questions for you, Ms.
Okay.
Lee here. Now, you said that you were walking into this restaurant, and you were assaulted after you walked into the restaurant. Is that correct?
God, he abused me and noodle boarded me.
But you're telling me, I want to make sure I understand your story correctly. You're telling me that you and your now deceased potential boyfriend entered the noodle store unassaulted, and then upon entering the store were then assaulted, correct? That's how it happened?
You saw the video.
Well, that's why I'm asking these questions, because your story ain't the same as the video.
That's what happened.
Well,
What
you're telling me happened? What you're telling me is what happened, or the video is what happened? Because they're two completely different things, Ms. Lee.
Yeah, we went in and they attacked us and it shot him to death and it then tortured me.
Now, see, that's not what the video shows. The video shows you and your boyfriend outside the building having a conversation with Officer Young, and then an altercation broke out in which Hopscotch came outside and assisted Officer Young. That's what the video shows. And you're saying that you went into the restaurant, which is, incidentally, what my client is saying, that you were in the restaurant before anything happened. Furthermore, you're contradicting yourself in saying that you were just there for noodles. It's a known fact that there was an active Tiger Claw hit out for any cops in the area that day.
I'm just an innocent young person, and why would I be involved in an attack and assassination? What?
I mean, it's something that an organization you have repeatedly claimed membership to has a reputation for doing. They are known to do this.
I am not the whole organization. I'm just me. We weren't even on shift anymore. We were just at dinner and killed him. You killed him, you monster.
No. Hold on. You guys have shifts? Like, how's that work?
I'm assigned to work certain times, and certain times I'm not. I'm not a slave.
I'm not a gang member myself, so I know nothing about gang life. See, Your Honor, this is a well-known gang. Unlike my defendant, my client here's group of friends who are going out helping people in the neighborhood. I think, yet again, the prosecution has called a very unreliable witness with a rep sheet a mile long and who's completely unreliable.
And she rips off her bandages like, is this some unreliable witness?
I'm not saying he didn't get your scalp burned off. What I am saying, though, is that
well,
my
then that's
client
the whole
claims...
question here is whether she burned my scalp off. Thank you for admitting it right here in court.
No. First off, this trial's about the belt, not your fucking scalp, sweetheart. Okay? Second off...
And where'd the belt go?
She obtained it while detaining violent criminals who were attempting to murder an NCPD MaxTac officer.
Attempting to murder? We were there for noodles, sir, and a date.
Yeah, Your Honor, can I call Article D, Officer Bailey Young's body camera footage?
I think that is a great point to pick up next week.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I want to keep going. This sucks.
I know. I would totally be down to go for another 4 hours. Oh, I am having so much fun with Smitty.
You were such a good lawyer, Ray.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know what you are doing.
Yes.
You're so good.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody out there in TV land. Really aging myself with that one. Like, subscribe, all that fun nonsense that we always ask you to do. Catch Ray and I Sundays and Wednesdays doing rave reviews. I'm playing Dark Souls poorly, and she is giving me just as much of a hard time as she was tonight in court. So come check that out. Like, subscribe, all that. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us tonight. 20 episodes. Can you guys believe that? Like, 20 episodes. All right.
Just 20 episodes, and you guys got me to go into drag.
Hey, that's all it takes. If you watch our other show, I'm going to wear a thong eventually. If the viewers make it happen, it's on them. All right,
I don't know that this is the
we will
call.
catch you Wednesday night. Have a great one.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.